All right, here we go. Hey guys, I'm glad to have some of you guys here. Thank you for joining me. I actually want to cover some of the stuff that's going on. Make sure that you know why your beloved Bitcoin is just going down the drain. Um, Under $32,000 right now. Let's take a look at it. So right now we are sitting at $31,995. If you guys want to share the stream and send it to anybody else, that'd be great. But this ain't looking so hot. So Bitcoin is not doing as well as we thought it should be doing, or anyhow, we're testing some limits here. We're testing definitely how high or how low things are going to go. In the last 24 hours, Bitcoin made it all the way down to $31,144. That's low. That's really, really low. For a lot of us have seen it up into the $60,000 mark. So we're under half of what it's been. What does this mean? Why is it happening? I actually want to talk to you guys about this. And I know I covered some of this stuff yesterday, but I think it's important for us to go over some of these things and why it's taking place, what's really happening and what does it mean? What does this all mean? Because at the end of the day, if it's going to impact you and me, I want to make sure that I'm covering it. I want to make sure that I'm going over what the impact is going to be and how this is actually, messing us up a little bit. And I want to give you hope. I want to talk to you about, what's going to happen and what are some things that you can do to be able to prevent, falling into FUD at the end of the day. I think that's what it boils down to. So taking a look at Bitcoin, I'm going to open this up here a little bit further just so you can see what's been going on. Let's look at the one-day chart so you can see the trends. And here's what I want you to take a look at. Right now, we are sitting at $32,000. It's 10% down. Here's where we hit the $31,000 mark. We're looking at about 830 or so, and then again 840, and then we came back up. Keep this little section here in mind, okay? Because this is important. I want to make sure you understand what's going on. I'm going to go back to all of the other ones just so you can see what I mean by this. If you look at all of the coins here, you can see that the impact that the price drop of Bitcoin has had on them is substantial, where we're looking at 14, 16%, 11, almost 12 here, 20% for ICP. Those are big numbers, okay? Now, here's the hope that I was talking about. I'm going to jump into what's going on with these two coins, and then I'm going to come back and talk about the why things are happening. So Helium. If we look at Helium, it had that little dip with everything else, but then instead of just coming back here, it jumped up even higher. So if you compare it to the Bitcoin chart, and I'll bring this up so you can see it a little bit easier. All right, so you see that, and it just came back a little bit. Helium came back way higher. I'm going to go to the Akash network, and I'm going to do a one-day view. Look at that. It came spiking up. Why am I showing you this? Well, I've mentioned both Helium and the Akash network before, and I want you to understand why I'm bringing it up. It's because it's not being impacted as much as some other coins. If we look at, like I was saying before, we're looking at 19%, 10%, 15%. Most things are going to be over this number right here. So Ethereum is down 12%. And again, it all boils down to it's following the pattern of Bitcoin. However, when we go to Helium and at that 7.5% and the Akash network at the 7.87%, they haven't fallen as much as Bitcoin. And this is what I was talking about yesterday. This is wonderful for all of us because it means that the price of Bitcoin is starting to be separate more and more from the altcoins that actually mean something. And the goal is that this happens more and more. So if, let's say, Bitcoin drops in price a little bit, people aren't just pulling their money out of crypto. They're instead investing in other things. They're investing in altcoins that they can stand behind regardless of the price of Bitcoin. Because right now, the market, unfortunately, is very Bitcoin motivated, I guess is the best way to describe it. It's being driven tremendously by the price of Bitcoin at any point in time. And we want to avoid that. We want all of these altcoins to be able to stand on their own. I mean all of them, even XRP. That's not really crypto. I got to explain that to you guys some point in time, but XRP is not like the others. So which one of these is not like the other? XRP. Ripple is not like the others. But let's talk about the why. And I mentioned this before. Let me just go to this main shot here. And before I go there, if I can just ask you if you don't mind hitting that like button, it'd go a long way for the videos and to getting the channel kind of up there, getting some more, engagement and everybody else joining us and having a little bit more to talk about. And if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat. I do have it open, and I do want to address anything you guys might be wondering about. I talked about Trump and how he kind of messed things up a little bit for all of us because of his comments in regards to crypto. Well, the reason he made comments about Bitcoin in regards to crypto as a whole and saying that it's a scam is 100% because of FUD. He's fearful because he doesn't understand it. And I've mentioned this before. The doubt that he has in crypto 100% comes from his lack of understanding in the coin. And his concern is the sovereignty of the dollar, that crypto is going to impact the sovereignty of the dollar. Right now, the world revolves around the dollar, regardless where you go in the world. When you're buying crops, selling crops, when you're exchanging things, when you're buying and selling worldwide, the price is normally dealt with the dollar, because that's the standard currency. And I made that video a while back in regards to how funny it is that the dollar is the one kind of ruling it all, which is ridiculous because 30% of it was printed in the last month alone. It's backed by nothing, and inflation is going to continue to go up. But Trump's main concern is really the sovereignty of the dollar, that crypto is going to take over the function of the dollar. That's okay. It's going to happen more and more. That's where the world is being driven to. It's decentralization. What it means is that there is no government that's going to be in charge of it. Obviously, governments want to profit from it, and hats off to the president of El Salvador saying what he's saying in regards to Bitcoin and saying that it's going to be classified as a currency and people won't be charged capital gains taxes on it because it's currency, which is honestly what I believe for most of these coins that are out there right now. And he's just taking the right step, and that's going to set him apart. That's going to help the country grow. He's going to encourage entrepreneurs to move to El Salvador and do a lot of things there. It's going to help their infrastructure. It's going to help whatever it is that they want to do, because money is going to be flowing into the country because of the regulation that he's trying to tap. Not regulation, but lack thereof, essentially. He's essentially saying that Bitcoin is going to be looked at as a currency, that Bitcoin is just like money, which is what, that's where we want to get to. That cryptocurrency is exactly what it says in its name, currency. It's not securities, even though XRP is a security. But some of these other ones, it's currency. It's not anything else. It's not stock. You shouldn't be taxed capital gains on it. You shouldn't have to deal with the same strict rules that you have to deal with when you're buying stocks. It shouldn't be regulated that way either. But I digress. Going back to Trump, he just doesn't get it. And what that means is that he's not going to be a big supporter of it. And it's I'm putting all of us in this one. It's our goal to make sure that this mass adoption of crypto takes place, that we talk to people about it, we explain what it is, even though it's frustrating for all of us. Believe me, for all of us. I can't tell you how frustrated I've gotten trying to explain crypto to somebody that doesn't get it or doesn't want to get it. The only way we're going to be able to, improve this environment is by instructing others, telling them how it works, why it should be the new standard. It's up to all of us, and obviously Trump doesn't get it. And something that's really bringing down the crypto markets, or just the how people feel about crypto in general, is the fact that people think that it's all criminal based, right? Like, it's Trump calling it a scam. It's all of these ransoms being paid in crypto. Ransoms get paid in other currencies too. It happens. It's just this time, people are focusing more and more on crypto. And by the numbers, people say that the dollar is used a lot more than crypto when it comes to illegal activities. And you got to think about that. Like, obviously, every, drug deal that happens, people are not, let me give you some Bitcoin. Like, people are paying with cash. Like, it's an estimated 80% of bills are laced with trace of some kind of narcotic, like cocaine. Like, it's insane how much, the dollar is used for illegal activities, yet crypto is getting the bad rap. And again, it shouldn't, because it's a lot more trackable. And this brings me to something else that I was reading about. The pipeline that had to pay up that ransom. The FBI was able to retrieve the funds, which is kind of scary if you think about it. So what is it? And I promise I'm not the type of person to go into, conspiracy theories, but how do you get that back? If you're a criminal, I'm sure you're not going to use a wallet that's living inside of an exchange. You're not going to go, to Coinbase and say, "Oh yeah, this is my wallet. Just send me send my Bitcoin here." You're not going to do that. So they're probably off somewhere with, either a hardware wallet or something, which means that the government can't subpoena the exchange to give up the information, the private key, because you need somebody's private key to be able to access the money. Like, you have to have somebody's private key to be able to transact one way or another. So what's the FBI doing? So you got the conspiracy theory, saying that, oh, is there some NSA involvement in this, because they're the ones who created SHA-256. That's what Bitcoin runs off of. So is there more, government involvement than people want to think? I don't want to go there, because I don't think it's that likely. What I think is more likely is that the hackers got hacked, and at the end of the day, there's a lot of hackers working for the federal government, and the goal is to be able to always be one step ahead, and when they aren't, they play catch up. So it's very likely that whoever was doing this, whoever was behind the attacks that requested that ransom, is now being hacked, and their private key has now leaked. Their private key is now available to the FBI, and they were able to, retrieve those transactions. Either way, government having that much power is always scary, just because you don't know. Like, what if you get, let's say that government thinks, oh, you need to pay more taxes on your capital gains because Bitcoin shot up to $1 million. Let's say, great. I don't want to pay up. I'm leaving the country. Well, that's okay. We can just use your private key that's supposed to be private, but we have access to it. Like, that is the scariest part of all. That's the scariest thing when it comes to this whole transaction. Like, it took them 4 weeks. Sure, it's a month later that they were able to acquire those funds back. But still, who wants to, be reminded that the government is able to acquire a private key that's supposed to be private and take somebody's funds away? Like, that's just doesn't give you the warm fuzzies inside. I'm sure that somewhere along the way, these criminals made some bad decisions. Again, I've made a video about scammers. I'm totally, not for them at all. It just brings up the question of how secure are your transactions, how secure are your funds. And I'll say this: if you have more than $1,000 invested in Bitcoin or in crypto in general, I highly recommend you have a hardware wallet that allows you to know exactly where your money is. That's just like I don't even want to say that it's common sense. I think that it's like a bare minimum requirement, just because we are living in a world where things are so easily accessible. And I'm not saying that your private key is easy to access. I'm saying that if somebody wants something, you know, bad enough, just like the FBI wanted to get these funds back and figure out who was behind the attacks, they're going to get to it. They're going to find it. They're going to figure out what it is. So having a hardware wallet is one of those safest things that you can possibly do with your crypto. That way, you know, it's physical, it's yours, you're holding on to it. And the private key that gets generated with those wallets, please keep it safe, not digital. Like, don't type it out. Like, when you get your hardware wallet, you're gonna get a physical item. Like, make sure you write down on paper and you put it away in your safe. Better yet, and I gotta look this up and share with you guys, but you're able to actually carve it into a piece of metal. There are some kits out there so that you can put it away in your safe. So even if like there's a flood, the paper gets destroyed, you still have that physical item with your words, with your key written in, that you can retrieve your wallet. But I'm going to cut it here, and I'm not going to say I'm going to cut it short because I've been going at it for about 16 minutes now. But I will see you guys probably a little bit later today, give you guys a full market update, see where this whole Bitcoin price is going. We can pull it up one more time here. We're looking at 32,158. Ethereum is at 2,400. Again, discounts, guys. Discounts everywhere. I don't know why Siri is listening to me. Of course she didn't catch that. Siri never catches anything. I don't know why she's always... But for those of you that think Bitcoin is about to snap, maybe. It could happen. But please, don't panic. Hold. That's all I can tell you right now. Hold. And looking at the chart here, just so you can see what we're looking at year to date, let's go all. So this trend right here is very similar to this one right here. Very, very similar. It's just on a larger scale, if you can tell. We're going to be okay. We're going to be all right. I'm not telling you to believe in me, but believe in you. And hit that like button to help me out with the channel and get things moving and get this channel a little bit more populated, because I do want to help you guys with what's going on in the market. So I want to help you guys with what decisions to make, what you can expect, and I want us to win and be successful together. So thank you so much, and I'll see you guys.